agreeing, so twice. Okay. All right, so I guess I don't know what's happening really, but it just has been coming up here and there about they're pushing for more, at least on a government UFO lobbyists, which I didn't even know it was like UFO lobbyists, but government's pushing it more for more records to be made public. I don't think that's really news, but I've been talking about that in different ways, but it's becoming more straightforward, you can say. Which also means government manipulation and whitewashing, and really not going to get anything out of it. I mean, if they're getting involved with it, I don't know if it's going to be a fake alien invasion. They're not quite that sophisticated, but it's probably it's probably there to also to shut people up too. That's the vibe I'm getting from that. So, it's like an agenda that might turn into something. It's kind of like the JFK records. There's not really anything out there. There's partial information, but nothing. So the same situation there. So either way, don't trust your government, basically. Nothing new there. So yeah, it just feels like it's worth tapping into, even if there's really nothing to report. So obviously, the society is not ready for it, but you never know. There might be some kind of innovation. Yes. Got the background terrorists here. Sure, it's horrid on the background already. I just put it back up. Not sure if she's making an appearance here. Cat photobomb. Yeah, I grew a tail. So there's that. So yeah, just like I said, it's coming up more and more often recently. Just you would not see this like 5 years ago or a year ago. Shoot. Also, Biden. I don't know if this has been mentioned. I know I haven't talked about it. I don't know how much it's been mentioned out in public, but him sniffing children, which is really disgusting. So he's been, kind of. I mean, this is known, but it's like really gross when he's around kids. Yeah, it's like a monster, basically. Should be caged. Should be just whatever. I guess this is what humanity needs, apparently. This is the growth it needs for some bizarre reason. I guess you just have to see how low do they go. So obviously we've seen that. Yeah. Background antics. Can't see what they're doing. It's fine. I just saw Fritzy's paw just appear out of nowhere. Anyway. But yeah, Biden's pretty much a monster when you think about it. I mean, he's brain dead, but still, there's some gross. Is it what? I mean, is there that much darkness in humanity for a creature like that to live here? I mean, humanity has to be at a low frequency for a creature like that to roam in our society like it is. It's not showing its true colors. Like, it's not looking like a true monster. It is still in human form. If it was a monster, maybe more people would take it more seriously. But still, it looks pretty much like a monster already. So, but you can say many just don't care, or I mean, they don't care about politics. But dude, you have like a politician sniffing kids, touching kids, and all that, and nobody. I mean, I imagine a lot of people do care. But you would think he would start getting from all the other things. I think they'd start canceling him. But there's just no word on it. Of course, the mainstream media is not saying anything. Obviously, it's the CIA media. So it's so we'll go in some of that. The creature of just a caged beast. That's what he should be. Just walked up and whatever. This is where society is at. This is the world you're incarnated into. You can look the other way. You can be new age and just live in high vibrational nonsense and be lost our whole life, or see what's here. And I don't know, just ideas for these type of things. I mean, you know, just become more recognized, I guess you can say, or doesn't have to be here at all. This world seems to enjoy things like that. It's just that's where the energy of humanity is. It's just at a low frequency. Not everybody, but quite a bit for it to exist the way it is. And obviously, it's worldwide on so many different levels. But something like Biden is like a public figure like that, smelling kids. Like, what is that? It's just, and it's just quiet out there. There's just nothing. I mean, there's I imagine there is news reports about it, but not really any action being done. Not that anything can be done because we're a slave society, but it doesn't have to be that way. So I guess you can say you just need somebody with a bigger audience, not a shadow ban like myself, but someone with a large audience to say something about it. It has to get trendy. It has to become more newsworthy. It has to not die out for more people. I don't think a lot of people pay attention. And those that do pay attention obviously are grossed out by it. So, yeah, I just figured I should bring it up. I saw it again. I saw it a couple of times before recently. Oh, it's been a while actually, but it's becoming more frequent recently. So, and y'all can hear that in the New Age channels and all that. They're just living in Wow land most of the time, selling you some kind of cult leader. They create some kind of space Jesus that they're still worshiping, Anki or alien TV. Oh God, it's like a sad world. But anyway, and then there's the Faroe Islands. I believe I connected this before in the past. Maybe not in this way. But I saw it has something about whaling. How that didn't go too well, but overall, well, they have to do some fishing. They have to clear the oceans for various reasons. It does get kind of overpopulated. But the Faroe Islands is not perfect, but it does have like a peaceful frequency connected to it. So it's like, you go to the United States and it's like hell on earth, basically, depending on where you are. If you live out in the mountains and all that, it's probably a little more peaceful. But if you live in a city, I think you're pretty much in the lower dimensions, technically. Not fully, but you have a good glimpse of the dark realms. Especially if you live like in New York City, and definitely if you live in San Francisco. Of course, I live in the city. And it's pretty much lifeless here. I mean, there is life here, but you have Scientology and Tom Cruise is jumping on some couch somewhere. It's like, it's kind of like an empty vessel here too. Yeah, the thing is with AI coming in, it's like things already feel soulless already. And you add AI to it, it's like, golly, it's like you got nothing left. So, in Hollywood, the executives, a lot of them are hollowed out, lifeless creatures. So, and a lot of that's going to start coming out more. I just don't want to beat that one to death, talk about that too much. I'll go into it. And if that's going to go to like, December? Damn. I figured it'd take a couple months, but you never know. Maybe I'll go for a couple. Maybe I'll go for the rest. God, there won't be anything left. So, we'll see. But the Faroe Islands is, just a peaceful frequency. Obviously, it's not perfect. Imagine living there is not much of a whole lot of income and all that, but there's still an energy. Think about living in a place where it's just peaceful, where you don't have to deal with like the United States and other nonsense, wars with everybody and all this crying worldwide, and just more of a a relaxed, peaceful energy. Like I say, it's not perfect, but just an energy of just be able to connect with yourself, connect with nature, connect with just not taking things so seriously. So, yeah, so we'll bring those energies through, which is nice. So, let's see here. Get us to work. Is that a total account prep sessions? The scheduler and shop here is webinars, social network behind the scenes, and archive. And then I have other subject matters that came up. I'll do them tomorrow, though. Pretty funny, actually. Go to the UFO August. New Age. So this is UFO Live. Chuck Schumer, which he's a Democrat. He doesn't exactly have the best energy. It's like Nancy Pelosi's a little stooge. But he's here to push for the whole UFO. So who knows? Oh, there's definitely an agenda there for sure. Nothing to trust, but that's what's going on, though. Yeah, I don't know about this though. Either way, it's becoming more. It's funny how they call it the UAP. Changes either way, changing its energy. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. And from what it looks like, this is a mermaid. I don't think this is a video; it's just a picture. Yeah, it was kind of creepy, but it is a skeleton, though. I mean, it's it is what it is, but it looks like a mermaid because it's kind of like a head energy and has like the fin. So I was kind of surprised they're making it. Well, surprised they're making this public, actually. Oh, it's in Australia. Nice. So, see how long this lasts on. See a kangaroo carcass. No, I don't think so. So, anyway, the Faroe Islands. Let's see. Fog. A misty area. Just I'm not sure if that's doing it much. Yeah, talk about living it, out in nowhere. Just very simple reality. Obviously, it's not for a lot of Americans because a lot of them are crazy and need to destroy themselves. But if you don't need to destroy yourself, there are peaceful places on the planet. Yeah, it really does give a better vibe, that's for sure, of us. What's here instead of planet chaos. There are places away from the chaos. Like I said, it's not perfect, but still just has less negativity. Yeah, I did some whaling recently, so yeah, it's not perfect. I had some whaling recently, so yeah. So it's not perfect, but either way, it's still. And I guess Fritzy's coughing in the background. But yeah, it just still has a. Oh yeah, that's right. I think I've done a video on this a long time ago. I forget what the name of this girl is. I forget her name. Anyway, yeah, it's literally like a statue, and in the middle of nowhere, basically. I forget the name of her. Actually, do statue. What do they call it? The mermaids of the Faroe Islands. Neat. I guess that isn't. No, she's not really a mermaid. She's holding a fish. She has a name, and I'm not seeing it anymore. The seal woman. Yeah, that's it. Interesting. She's just on a rock by herself, out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I don't really show a good picture of it. Yeah, just out and about. I guess that's okay. So there is it is part of civilization somewhat. Yeah, it's different. Well, it's definitely showing that mermaids are, you can say, protecting the land. You can say. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, somewhere else. Is that there too? Interesting. So anyway, it just has a overall it has a good vibe about it. Yeah, and the map of it is out in the middle of nowhere. So you haven't heard about it. There's an obvious reason for it. Obviously, this is where civilization is, but of course you can go to these other. A lot of this is private. I think they sell tickets or something, so you can. They let you. You have to pay this, certain areas, but I can't imagine it being that much. So, but yeah, it does have a lot of elite energy here too. Some there's elite energy, obviously, right? I mean, like those running our reality. There's some presence there. Obviously, it is very remote. And who else can afford to go to places like this or come and go? At least it's basically a fishing town. So yeah, very nice. Okay, yeah, a little bit of peacefulness there, which is I think many people need. Especially obviously there's worlds like that. Of course, we're on planet chaos. At least some of our towns that we're in, especially in the U.S., where it's there to tear itself apart. So, sorry, we're going to UFO energies. What's going on with the government? Again, you never know. You might get something from them. And then Biden, the monster. Give you a perspective on that. Well, some things we just gotta know. It's just the way it is. I mean, we're here on Hell Planet. Probably, of course, some turn that off. That's on their journey. Eventually, you gotta face it. If not this lifetime, some other lifetime. If you wish to ignore everything, it's going to come back to you eventually. You don't have to go too deep into what's happening here. But if you're just completely locked out, it'll find you eventually. So you can only ignore reality for so long. So whatever, do as you must. All right, so blessings. There you go. Greetings, Pleiadians. Yes, realize Pleiadian beings aren't always trusted, but either way, we give you an update. Basically, our government's acting like they know everything at this point, and they do feel like humans are stupid, or they obviously they're ignorant themselves. But they're trying to answer some questions themselves because this is a topic that's not going away. But also, they're making it political, like a political bargaining chip. Well, eventually, it becomes normal here. So it is, this is growth. Doesn't mean you have to think too deeply into it. It's basically as you go more galactic, more of this type of knowledge become, you're basically alien society anyway. It just is just like you're starting to reveal yourselves. Obviously, society is not quite ready for it just yet. That's maybe a little bit too much, for everyone to start tapping into their galactic past and all that. The world's already confused as it is. You're going to add more confusion to it. And you already see confusion already in the spiritual community trying to figure everything out. Obviously, some feel like they have it all figured out, and others have no idea. And they just listen to whatever they're being told. So, be careful what you wish for. As for the UFO frequencies that's here, it's basically the government is, at least the public version is allowed to do this too. So that says something. I mean, usually they just shut this all down. So it's just there's you say the higher elites are seeing where this plays out. what agendas they can do, how much money they can make from it, how can they manipulate people with it. And they're going to, it's just basically political. It's political ufology, basically. That's probably going to go nowhere. Are they going to go deep? It's just like, yeah, it's similar to like the JFK situation where they're just whitewashing everything. It's all marked off. Anything that's top secret, they're going to mark it off anyway. But yeah, so it's going to have some frustration there. Just like the JFK, they're not even ready to bring that out public for obvious reasons. Now, like those that were part of it, like the whole assassination situation, when you have a new generation that comes in that just wants to shed light on it and don't care about, lying to the public anymore, eventually they'll make it more popular, but not yet. There's too many that are controlling it, and this is military. And same thing with UFO knowledge. So, yeah, it's like you open up a door and you find a wall. Or you find another door, and you find another door, and you find another door. It goes nowhere. But at least this is some kind of growth overall. So take it as you will. Greens, we have the Orion collective consciousness. Your Biden or any of your, not just your politicians or just people in general. Yes, some people are creatures here. Well, they feel like they can do whatever they want. So they become more daring. Yes, sniffing anybody for that matter. Or, yes, taking a life, which some do. Well, they feel like they're privileged. There's a lot of elite energy there. There's different types of elites. There's those that want to take souls, and others just want to manipulate it. So, yeah, to go into Biden's energy, he's basically like a creature that would live in a cave that would grab children and take them to a cave, basically. And do as he must with them. A predator, basically. From another reality. Is that even the true Biden there? Not really. No, that's a monster. That's there. The real Biden, yes, it's not perfect. But there's, even he can only go so. I mean, there's a real one. You just don't see much of it. Not to say that was an angel, far from it. But yeah, it just shows what kind of creatures are coming into that body, basically. They just don't care. And society is being taught to just look the other way. And obviously you can say what you want, but obviously you try to put your, but the universe, I mean, it just many aren't aware of it. They're kept away from it. But if you keep seeing these type of things, Biden sniffing short is disgusting. But it shows, to Senate clearing there, put also awareness out there. Like this thing does exist, and yes, it should be. This should come to it should be shed light on it. But obviously, that shows you how much corruption. But some need to see that. Many are not paying attention to this world, as you can see. Some feel like they're paying attention to it, but they really aren't. If they were, a lot of this corruption would not be here right now. As humans go to live their lives, their darkness works mysterious ways and does things. So if you clear out your darkness, like of every individual, just balance it, it would help. Doesn't mean darkness will leave this world, no. But at least you can know where it's coming from. Like what individuals are bringing it, and not to judge, but to also clear it. Especially when it comes to young ones. Well, of course, you have parents that are completely clueless under creatures like this. So it's a lesson for everybody, though. Eventually, society will wake up, but right now, it's still it's a touchy subject, as you can see. There's Hollywood media. Well, when you get to a part of wealthy, like I say, you just don't care. And that's what's happening now. And what can you do? It's like something out of a fantasy story. It's like you see, darkness, which you pretty much living it. It just you don't see creatures in the skies. You don't see dragons, things like some of you do on a fourth dimensional level. You're not seeing it physically. So, but it's basically it's like a troll being. That's what Biden is, just a troll. It's just here to devour. It's still connected to Biden's consciousness, so it might not be the original, but it's still a version of him. It's allowing it to happen, so it's still on him. Greetings. We are the Faroe Island consciousness. Well, there are places where you find simplicity. Yes, where you can find yourself. We find, the energy of bliss, or find your own darkness to clear. There is a lot of mystical beings out into the ocean, a lot of creatures, which is inspiring, actually. At least you're on land. It is a mythical place. Yes, and you can say when you're remote, away from the world, you connect more spiritually, astrally. So you can say you feel good vibrations and also very strange vibrations at the same time. But overall, is a part of growth where you can find, inner peace, which many are having difficulties with. Many come to this one has slave planet energy. It doesn't mean it's entirely a slave. There's just portions of it. Like you have prisons here, right? We have prison societies, basically. So it's not all a jail. There are places where you can be free. But there are places where the soul needs to really figure itself out. And prison itself shut down from society and figure itself out. But it doesn't mean you're on a remote island yet. Well, some of you have actually experienced that. It didn't work. So you go to places of chaos to figure yourself out. So yes, there's a prison within a prison. Not every place is like that, but there are some aspects of that. Of course, there's society also. It's not willing to look at anything. Well, that's what some of you come in to bring a lot from the hidden to the light for things to be seen, and for basically this world to turn a page, for it to start healing itself. It's not really doing that. Some are doing on an individual level, but basically the world has to start healing its deep wounds, especially from its Earth's past. And it is astrally, it's spiritually, it's just where humans can be more friendly to each other worldwide. Obviously, you have to protect yourself and not be friendly to everybody for obvious reasons. Because there's a divide in society. But there are even in a remote place as the Faroe Islands, it's still, you still can't always be friendly to everybody. Some are a little odd there too. So it's not completely out of the woods just of yet. But at least it's you kind of find inner peace when it's hot. You can find that anywhere actually. But sometimes you need to be in the middle of chaos to find it. Which many are still working on. Some ignore their darkness. I mean, truly ignore it, so they probably won't incarnate here again. When you find some kind of balance, you don't have to go too deep into, but you also acknowledge it. You have light and dark. It's like, okay, I've acknowledged that. That's a big deal. And they're not doing that. Obviously, some are doing it where they say, I have darkness, I have no light, I'm going to hell. That's not hell sometimes says, no, you're not ready for this place. It's like, come back when you're ready. So you can't get kicked out because you just don't belong there. You're just not there yet. So